Gordon Ryan versus Pena was a pretty interesting matchup for while it lasted. I was actually really enjoying it early on. Pena showed a really good ability to be able to kind of keep some distance from Ryan by going to that 50-50. And I thought that maybe he had some interesting answers there to Gordon Ryan's abilities in general. But as the match wore on, we saw that his ability to take it to 50-50 was really nothing more than like just a kind of stalling tactic. He wasn't able to turn that into anything he could capitalize on. And you could see that as the match was going on, that he was using a ton of energy and he was breathing through his mouth pretty heavy. Whereas if you were watching closely, you could see Gordon Ryan wasn't getting very tired, still remaining very efficient. And, you know, the match just really started to break down where Pena decided to, essentially look to cheat. He was looking to cheat. They asked him to reset in the middle off of a takedown. He was trying to deny it at that point. He was like, no, I didn't get taken down. They threw the replay up. Showed, yeah, no, you were in that position, so you're gonna need to go back to that position where we were close to the edge of the mat. And he was like, no, it should just be like start standing again. So he was just starting to cheat. And I know after the match he talked about the death of Leandro Lo and how his best friend dying really deeply affected him. But I don't doubt that did deeply affect him. But he went to the match. He started the match. He was willing and able to trash talk in the middle of the match. We all saw it. We could all see him trash talking, which is not to suggest that Gordon Ryan wasn't trash talking. He was trash talking back. But Pena was trash talking. We can see it there on camera. We know that, he was willing to go for like a toe hold. And he was willing to fight for a good deal of that match. And only when the match seemed like the match was just not going to go his way, and he was starting to break and getting a little bit tired, all of a sudden the cheating started to come in. He was finding excuses to take little breaks. He was, denying the ref's orders multiple times, going over to the promoter and trying to talk his way out of the match at that point. And then we finally get to the conclusion of the match in which Pena just decides to just stop fighting. And, I've watched, UFC matches where guys are literally two hands on their knees, standing, taking punches, not even really able to block, and they're willing to just keep going. And this is not the biggest fight of their career. This is just they're willing to tough it out. Like, I know Pena was tired. I have no doubt that he was tired. I could see him breathing hard, but I wouldn't really say he was like drop dead tired. And to just verbally tap, and he didn't really even call it a tap. He was just like, I'm not going to do any more, basically. And that'll be his excuse going forward. He basically said that, and he did it when Gordon Ryan was still in his guard. He just didn't ride it out on his shield like you should. I mean, this isn't even MMA. He's not. It'd be one thing if you tapped a little early because you're just so tired and you knew that you were about to take a colossal beatdown that can potentially put you in like the ICU or whatever. Gordon Ryan was gonna advance to cross sides, mount, find his way to tapping him, and Pena was going to be able to fight another day. He could honestly rematch it within 2 weeks if he wanted to. If he's a businessman, he would just get submitted, afterwards say, hey, my friend being dead really upset me, let's do the rematch because I'll be in a better space mentally. But instead he really he used his friend's death in a way that was not particularly tasteful. He's like, oh, you know, he stopped really in the middle of a match and basically called it out on his friend's memory, which in my opinion was not a real tasteful thing to do. He could have, you know, gone out on his shield and then invoked his friend's name, and I think everybody would have understood. Like, I don't think anyone would have heard that and thought, yeah, no, I doubt that played any role. It's like, yeah, I would have said, yeah, I bet that plays a bit of a role, and let's see the rematch. Now I don't really want to see the rematch because I don't like him very much. You know, like, you're invoking your friend's name to cheat. It's like, you know, those are all the excuses for him walking off the mat, showing poor sportsmanship at various points in the match. Is like, he's willing to just do whatever little thing he can to try to find some sympathy for bad sportsmanship, and I just, it was distasteful. Hell of an athlete, you know, hell of a competitor, great jiu-jitsu, but yeah, it was not a good look for sure. And you know, I'm not the biggest Gordon Ryan fan at all. I really like watching Gordon Ryan compete. He makes a lot of comments off you know, off the mats that are stuff that I'm not crazy about. I understand his desire to kind of create a heel persona and all that kind of stuff. Even with that, I think sometimes he just goes kind of way over the line. But yeah, you know, Pena got spanked. He looked pretty bad. It looked really bad how it finished, and I don't know that personally I want to watch the rematch. You can leave me a comment, let me know if you want to watch the rematch. Subscribe to our channel. You can learn a lot of things about jiu-jitsu, and yeah, have a good day.